सब्सक्राइब करें परिष्कार कॉलेज यूट्यूब चैनल को और साथ ही बेल आइकन पर क्लिक जरूर करें, जिससे हमारे सभी वीडियोस नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले आप तक पहुंचे।
Hello students, I hope all of you are safe and stay at home, and once again welcome to your new education life in the college field. So let's start the topic first. So today I am going to introduce about the history of Rajasthan. Yes, the culture of Rajasthan, the glory of Rajasthan, define the uniqueness, define the glory of our Indian traditions or the Indian cultural trends. So let's start the topic. The name of the paper is History of Rajasthan, and the time period, or either we can say it the era. The era defined here from earliest times to 1956 AD. I hope all the students know the difference between AD and BC. Actually AD defines after decade and BC define before Christ. So let's start the topic. But before that we need to understand the syllabus, the exam pattern and all. But first of all, subscribe the channel of R in order to get new notifications for your upcoming new videos. So let's see, and also press the bell icon for the new notifications. So through this map, I hope all the students now understand we are going to start a topic on Rajasthan. Yes, about the glory, about the culture, about the geographical or about the sources, historical sources that help us to know more about the historical background of our Rajasthan. So let's start. So through this question, the setup, the preparation for your competitive exams will go increased. Yes, let's see how. First one, just like Mundiyar Ri Khyat is about, मतलब इसमें पूछा गया है मुंडियार री ख्यात किससे संबंधित है या किसके द्वारा इसका लेखन हुआ है. तो लेट्स सी द आंसर. चौहान ऑफ सिरोही, हदसा ऑफ बूंदी और सिसोदियास ऑफ मेवाड़, राठौर्स ऑफ मारवाड़. एंड दिस क्वेश्चन, yes, this question was mentioned in the R.A.S. pre. So by learning the concept, by learning the background, historical background of what? Yes, by learning the historical background of Rajasthan, you can easily answer the competitive question or for your exams also. So let's start. This is the next one. The author of the Bikaner Rathoran Ri Khyat was, and this question is also mentioned in the R.A.S. pre 2007 paper, and the options are here: Dayaldas, Shamal Das, Suryamal Mishran, Nainsi. But in order to answer this question, I already told you students, we need to understand the concept of historical sources of Rajasthan first, then we will definitely answer all this question easily. So let's start. The next one, Muhnot Nainsi, famous literature work. Here I am using the work famous literature work. It means I am talking about the Khyat. So we'll define the concept of Khyat also in the topic of our Bikaner Ri Khyat, Dayaldas Ri Khyat, Nainsi Ri Khyat, Jodhpur Ri Khyat. And this question is, yes, this question is came in the exam of Patwari. Churu Patwari. So let's start with the next one. Dayaldas Ri Khyat written in, yes, in which era? In which era it got written by Dayaldas? So for all these type of question, we need to learn the topic first. And just like the Jodhpur Ri Khyat described about. So how we describe about the Jodhpur Ri Khyat? So how we describe the answer of Jodhpur Ri Khyat? That it about for whom? Yes, in order to know the answer of all this question, we need to learn, we need to understand the historical background of our Rajasthan. So in the syllabus of first year of history, BA part first here, the paper got divided. The paper of history got divided into two different parts. The first one is History of India from the beginning of the first paper first, History of India from the beginning up to 1200 AD. So this is the first paper, and the second one which we are study here right now. The name of the second paper is History of Rajasthan from earliest time to 1956. So both the papers consist 100 marks. So the sum of both the papers is 200. So out of the 200 you need to carry the passing marks in order to clear the exam. But why we are talking about the passing marks? We believe in the criteria of distinction marks. So we'll start the topic, but before that we need to know about the exam pattern more. So let's start the topic. Examination pattern of BA. So let's see BA first year history examination pattern. It got divided. Yes, it got divided into two different parts. Part A. In Part A, there are two types of question. Yes, the first one is very short questions that consist 20 marks. Means you need to attempt. आपको 10 questions करने हैं और जो दो numbers के होंगे. It means they carry 20 marks. The total sum of these questions 20 and the rest one बाकी की जो short questions होंगे 5 into 4 it means 20 marks again. मतलब आपको 5 questions attempt करने हैं जो कि 4 marks के होंगे. So in the part A, the first you need to attempt 10 question that carry 2 marks each, जो कि दो नंबर की होंगी और उसमें आपको 10 questions को attempt करना है. But short questions type में you need to attempt only 5 questions that carry 4 marks each और total sum होता है 20. So means the total sum of both the questions are 40. So let's start with the part B. The part B consists 6 questions. The total number of questions for the part B is 6 and the question for section A, the questions for section B and the questions for section C divided into 2 numbers. Means section A में भी आपके 2 questions होंगे, section B में भी आपके 2 questions होंगे and section C में भी आपके 2 questions होंगे. It means the part B got divided into 3 different parts A, B and C and each question carry 20 marks. So it means 20 into 3 60. So part B आपका जो होगा वो 60 नंबर का होगा, 60 marks का होगा and in which you need to attempt 3 questions out of 6. जिसमें से आपको 6 में से 3 questions attempt करने हैं पर you only need to select 1 question from each section. हर section में से A, B and C आप उन तीनों sections में से या तीनों खंडों में से आप एक एक प्रश्न का चयन करेंगे, एक एक प्रश्न को select करेंगे और उनको according to the requirement of the words जो आपको वहां पे आप 3 questions select करेंगे हर एक सेक्शन में से, सेक्शन ए में से, सेक्शन बी में से एंड सेक्शन सी में से और तीनों क्वेश्चंस का जो मार्क्स का क्राइटेरिया होगा 20 मार्क्स ईच. सो इट मींस यू गेट 20 मार्क्स फॉर ईच क्वेश्चन. सो द टोटल सम ऑफ 3 क्वेश्चन इज 60. सो दिस इज द पैटर्न ऑफ RU means Rajasthan University exam in which you need to attempt the paper of your history and other subjects. So now it's time to define the paper structure of our BA. It got divided into 2 different papers. The first one is History of India from the beginning up to 1200 AD and the next one paper second History of Rajasthan from the earliest times to 1956 AD. So through both of these papers you can understand the concept of historical concept of India or the historical concept of Rajasthan. So let's start. Now it's time to discuss about the examination pattern. The examination pattern divided into 2 different parts, the part A and the part B. In the part A, it consists 2 types of questions, very short questions that consist 10 questions and 20 marks each. And after that, short questions that consist 5 into 4. It means that consist 5 questions and 4 marks each. So the total sum of part A is 40. So after that the part B, it divided into 3 different sections, part A, part B and part C according to the syllabus or according to the coursework of Rajasthan University. In each section there will be 2 types of questions. हर एक section में आपको हर एक खंड में आपको 2 प्रश्न दिए जाएंगे और you need to attempt 1 question from ईच सेक्शन, और हर खंड या हर पार्ट में से आपको ABC में से आपको एक क्वेश्चन का चयन करना. यू नीड टू सेलेक्ट वन क्वेश्चन in order to grab the marks, and each question carry 20 marks. आपका जो क्वेश्चंस होंगे पार्ट बी में, आपको the number of total question is 6, and in which you need to attempt only 3 question, but the 3 questions should be selected by the concept of one question each by selecting one question each from the section A, from the section B and from the section C. मतलब पार्ट A में से आपको एक लेना है, पार्ट B में से एक लेना है, एंड पार्ट C में से एक लेना है. तो it means you need to attempt the question from all 3 sections and you need to select one question from each section. So the total number of part B means 20 into 3. The total number of, or either we can say it, the sum of part B is 60. So the total number of paper of history of Rajasthan is 100, and it got divided into 2 different parts. I already told you. Once again I repeat, the part A and part B. Part A consists of 40 marks and part C consists of 60 marks. So let's start with the syllabus first. The section A, as I earlier told you, the coursework or either the syllabus of Rajasthan University got divided into 3 different sections. So the first one, आप पहले अपना जो सेक्शन ए है उसमें किसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे? अ सर्वे ऑफ द सोर्सेज ऑफ द हिस्ट्री ऑफ राजस्थान. एज आई अर्लियर टोल्ड यू दैट इफ यू वांट टू नो अबाउट द हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड, द अचीवमेंट्स ऑफ आवर रूलर्स मींस Rajputs, and as I earlier told you, if you want to know about the historical background of Rajasthan, so first of all we need to understand the concept of sources, means historical sources. The first chapter consists a survey of the sources of the history of Rajasthan. Second, Paleolithic and Mesolithic culture in Rajasthan, extent and characteristics of Paleolithic and Copper Age culture like Ahad, Bharathar and Ganeshwar. Third one, characteristic of Kalibanga culture, Matsya Janpad and Republican tribes in Rajasthan. So, the last but not the least, origin of Rajput and rise and expansion of Guhilas, Gujar Pratihars and Chamanas. So through this section you understand more, you learn more about the glory of our Rajasthan historical background. So let's start with the next section, the section B. It consists these topics. The first one, Rajput resistance to Muslim inclusions in Rajasthan, Mewar under Maharana Kumbha and Sangha, Maharana Pratap's struggle for independence, Chandra Sen efforts for freedom, and the third topic, contribution of Savai Jai Singh. Last but not the least, fourth one, a brief survey of the main features of the society, and the fifth one, Meera and Dadu. Yes, it means in this section we also learned about the religious historical background of Rajasthan through the topic of Meera and Dadu. Art and architecture, fort and architecture and temples. So in this section we will learn about the social structure. We will learn about the structure of religion in Rajasthan that time, and first of all in this section we learn about the glory of our royal family with their contribution in the struggle for what? For the independence. So let's start with the section C. The section C also divided into 5 different parts. The first one, Maratha inclusion in Rajasthan and their impact, acceptance of British sovereignty and its consequences. Third one, administrative and judicial changes after 1818 AD, social changes, prohibition of female infanticide and sati pratha, economic changes, land revenue and many more changes. Through this section you will know about the time period of Rajasthan Asian history. So fourth one, outbreak of 1857 in Rajasthan. Yes, this is one of the most important topic for your competitive exams also. By understanding the background, by understanding the pillar of the struggle of 1857, you will definitely know the answer of your question perfectly for your competitive exam and for your RU exam. So the next one, influence of R.A. Samaj. Here in this section we also learn about the social concept. Means through the R.A. Samaj in Rajasthan, a brief survey of peasant movement and tribal movements, formation of Praja Mandal and the freedom struggle in Rajasthan, and last but not the least, integration of Rajasthan in different stages. So integration of Rajasthan in different stages, repeat, and last but not the least, integration of the state. Of which state? Yes, the state of Rajasthan. So through these sections you can easily understand the historical background or the structure of ancient Rajasthan. So let's start with the topic of our. So today I am going to introduce a topic, the sources. Yes, the name of the topic in which we will discuss about the sources that help us to learn, that help us to know about the हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड ऑफ आर राजस्थान. हमारे जो सोर्सेज है अलग अलग भागों में बटे हुए हैं. द सोर्सेज गॉट डिवाइडेड इनटू डिफरेंट पार्ट, बट नाउ टुडे आई एम ओनली गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट द सोर्सेज दैट रिलेटेड टू द फील्ड ऑफ लिटरेरी. मीन्स आज हम खाली साहित्यिक स्रोतों की बात करेंगे. सो लेट्स सी ऑन द बोर्ड. राजस्थान, यस, द लैंड ऑफ किंग्स, मतलब जो राजाओं की भूमि के नाम से संबोधित किया जाए वो है हमारा Rajasthan. So Rajasthan, the land of king as it is often dubbed, is one of the most visited states in India. As you all know students, most of the जो visitors होते हैं, tourist होते हैं, जो बाहर से आते हैं, आपने सुना होगा उसमें सबसे पहला नाम अगर किसी भी आप स्टेट का सुनते हैं तो वी फील प्राउड टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ राजस्थान. सो द मोस्ट टूरिस्ट विजिटेड दैट प्लेस नोन एज राजस्थान. राजस्थान में ज्यादा से ज्यादा आपको जो बाहर से ट्रेवलर्स आते हैं या जो आउटसाइडर्स होते हैं वो देखने को मिलते हैं because of the glory of our Rajasthani culture, because of the glory of our Rajasthani tradition. So here is a look at the history of the royal state of India. So by learning this chapter we understand new things about the history of our Rajasthan. So through this picture you can understand, here we are going to discuss about the structure of what? Historical structure of Rajasthan. So let's start. Rajasthan state of northwestern India. Yes, which region? Northwestern India. Just remember, northwestern India located in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. Where it got located? Where the Rajasthan located? Yes, it located northwestern. Yes, northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. The written history of Rajasthan. Yes, the written history of Rajasthan is found. You can easily know about the historical background of Rajasthan by learning the Vedas. Means the written history of Rajasthan is found in the Vedas. And the history of Rajasthan till 1200 AD. Means according to the historians, the history of Rajasthan कितने समय तक? 1200 ईस्वी तक it got divided into two sections. So let's see. The first one is till 900 AD. The second one, section B, means from 900 AD to 1200 AD, and the topic C section includes Asian history of Rajasthan till 900 CE. So through these sections we can easily divide the historical structure of Rajasthan and we can easily understand or learn the history of our ancient Rajasthan. So let's start. The purpose of history. Yes, I just want to know before starting the chapter once again, I just want to know students why there is a need to learn about the sources. Why there is need to learn about the sources more and more in order to grab a perfect knowledge on your history subject. Yes, जब तक हम उन sources को या स्रोतों को नहीं जानेंगे जो कि हमारी हेल्प करेंगे या मददगार साबित होंगे हमें हमारे जो प्राचीन राजस्थान का इतिहास है उससे जोड़ने के लिए, तब तक हम आगे अपनी जो अपना पेपर है इतिहास का, द पेपर ऑफ योर हिस्ट्री, won't be complete, वो पूरा नहीं हो पाएगा, because जब तक हम शुरुआती जो चरण है, the stage first that include the sources of historical background of Rajasthan should be need to learn first, means उन्हें समझना बहुत जरूरी है। अपने आप को पहले राजस्थान की जो ऐतिहासिक पृष्ठभूमि है उससे अपने आप को संबंधित करना बहुत जरूरी है। Then we will definitely know the answer of all the questions that will be in your exams or that will be in your competitive exams. So let's start once again. The purpose of history, yes, the purpose of history is to throw light on the past. Means हम इतिहास को क्यों पढ़ते हैं? जो चीज हो चुकी है उसके बारे में क्या बात करनी? नहीं, हम इतिहास को पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है। आपको ये बात मालूम होगी, इतिहास के अंदर वो जो कथाएं या जो हमें पाठ पढ़ने को मिलते हैं वही है जो आज हमारे आने वाले समय की नींव को मजबूत करता है। जब तक हम अपने पूर्वजों के, अकॉर्डिंग टू द हिस्टोरियंस, when we will know the struggle, when we will know the contribution of our ancestors, then we will prepare ourselves for the future of our, मतलब जब हम अपने आप को किस रूप में, अपने आप को एक सुदृढ़ रूप में संबोधित करेंगे भविष्य में, और वो कब हो पाएगा? वो तभी हो पाएगा जब हम अपने जो भूतकाल था उसमें जो घटनाएं घटित हुई थी और जिसके कारण आज जो हमारा स्वरूप है हमारे भारतवर्ष का या हमारे राजस्थान भूमि का, वो तभी समझ में आ पाएगा जब हम अपनी जो भूतकाल की मीन्स ऐतिहासिक जो पृष्ठभूमि है उसको समझे। और वो कब समझ पाएंगे? थ्रू द हेल्प ऑफ सोर्सेज। सो नाउ आज हम किन सोर्सेज के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं? नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट द सोर्सेज, मीन्स साहित्यिक स्त्रोत, means literary sources. So let's see on the board. The purpose of history is through the light on the past. Past here indicated means भूतकाल, means इतिहास में जो घटनाएं घटित हुई थी राजस्थान के अंदर, उन घटनाओं की जो वर्णन है हमें इन स्रोतों के द्वारा जानने को मिलता है। So this is done through the discovery. Yes, this is done through discovery and study of historical sources. So the historical sources in which we are going to start the source, the name of the source we are going to start right now here. Yes, literary sources. So आगे बढ़ते हैं इसी के साथ हम। Literary sources, this is the first one in the field of sources of history of Rajasthan that help us to know more about the background of our Rajasthani culture, to know more about the background of our Rajasthani political conditions, economic, geographical conditions and many more. So literary, first of all we need to know साहित्यिक स्रोत, means literary sources. इनको किस रूप में परिभाषित, how you define literary sources? Let's see on the board, students. So literary sources are the data which is received in the written forms which describe the nature of the society of ancient times. Means जो हम बात कर रहे हैं साहित्यिक स्रोतों की, और either we can say it the literary sources. So through the literary sources we learn more about the history of our Rajasthan. But ये literary sources है, इनको कैसे इनका डेवलपमेंट हुआ, ये कैसे हमें आज लिखित रूप में देखने को मिलता है? Because that the time of ancient Rajasthan, the sources, जो literary sources थे उनको ऑर्गेनाइज्ड किया गया, उनको प्रोड्यूस्ड किया गया, प्रोड्यूस इन द सेंस उनका लेखन किया गया, उनका लेखा जोखा रखा गया और उनको लिखित रूप में आज हमें पढ़ने को मिलता है। एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वी नो अबाउट द नेचर, वी नो अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ आवर एशियन राजस्थान। सो The literary sources is also divided into 3 different literatures. Yes, अगर मैं बात करती हूँ साहित्यिक स्रोतों की, तो साहित्यिक स्रोतों को भी हम 3 भागों में विभाजित करते हैं। The first one is the religious structure, means religious literature. जो हम आधार देते हैं साहित्यिक स्रोतों का, उसको 3 भागों में विभाजित कर हमने बताया। पहला है धार्मिक साहित्य, means religious literature. The second one secular literature, and the third one is the accounts of foreigners. Means account of foreigners का यहाँ पे मतलब है, अभिप्राय है कि जो बाहर से यात्री आए, ट्रेवलर्स आए और उन्होंने जो पृष्ठभूमि को देखा अपने नजरिए से राजस्थान के, प्राचीन राजस्थान के इतिहास की, उसको उन्होंने पन्नों पे उतारा और जो कि आज हम पढ़ते हैं उनके द्वारा लिखी गई किताबों से। सो जस्ट लाइक एनल्स एंड एंटिक्विटीज, आपने नाम सुना होगा, जो कर्नल जेम्स टॉड के द्वारा लिखी गई थी, एंड he was known for his writing in the field of modern Rajasthan literature. So because of that contribution, we prepared ourselves to know more about the nature of ancient Rajasthan, the structure of ancient Rajasthan easily. So let's start. राजस्थान लिटरेचर, यस, अब मैं बात कर रही हूँ जब राजस्थान लिटरेचर, और इधर वी कैन यूज इट द वर्ड राजस्थानी लिटरेचर, इट मीन्स डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली आई एम पॉइंटिंग टूवर्ड्स द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ख्यात। ख्यात किस रूप में जानी जाती है? ख्यात राजस्थान का वह साहित्य है जो कि राजस्थान की जो मूल भाषा है उसके अंदर इसका लेखन किया गया था, और जो कि उस समय की जो राजवंश थे, मीन्स द रॉयल फैमिलीज ऑफ दैट टाइम, उनका जो डिस्क्रिप्शंस है, उनकी जो अचीवमेंट्स है या स्ट्रगल्स है, उसके अंदर हमें उनके वंशजों के बारे में, मीन्स अबाउट देयर क्लैन, उनके बारे में पढ़ने को मिलता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ ख्यात। सो ख्यात, first of all we need to understand the meaning of khyat. So let's see how you will describe the answer of your question. Khyat generally contained, yes, khyat generally contains histories of a ruling dynasty or a person. As I earlier told you, in order to know about the political structure of ancient Rajasthan, in order to know about the social structure of ancient Rajasthan, or the geographical structure or the economic structure of ancient Rajasthan, we need to learn the concept of लिटरेरी सोर्सेज फर्स्ट। मीन्स हमें पहले साहित्यिक स्रोतों को पढ़ना पड़ेगा, और वो कब पढ़ने को मिलेगा? जब हम अपने आप को किस चीज से जोड़ेंगे? मीन्स विद द हेल्प ऑफ ख्यात। तो ख्यात को परिभाषित करने का एक सरल और सिंपल वे है, ख्यात उस चीज से संबंधित है जिसके अंदर हमें जो राजस्थान के ऐतिहासिक जो वंशज थे, उनके वंशों के बारे में, उनके योगदान, उनके पराक्रम के बारे में, तथा उनके जो सफलताएं और असफलताएं थी उनके बारे में हमें पढ़ने को मिलता है, और वो हमारी मूल भाषा में, राजस्थानी भाषा के अंदर स्थापित किए गए थे, और जिसको हम ख्यात के नाम से जानते हैं। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। Meaning of Khyat, as I earlier told you about the basic meaning of Khyat, but in order to know more about the basic structure of Khyat, these are few points that help you to know about the meaning of Khyat once again. A Khyat is a form of bardic historical prose that was prevalent in India. Yes. So the second point, in the former states that now constitute Rajasthan, ख्यात्स वर रिटन अंडर द पैट्रोनेज ऑफ रूलर्स, मीन्स जो उस समय राजवंश थे, मीन्स राजस्थान की जो ऐतिहासिक पृष्ठभूमि के अंदर जो शासक थे, उनके द्वारा या उनके आदेश के अनुसार उस समय के जो वंशज थे उनका लेखन किया गया ख्यात के रूप में, इन ऑर्डर टू लर्न मोर अबाउट द हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड ऑफ एशियन राजस्थान. Or simply we can use the line who wished to perpetuate their exploits. So they the rulers of ancient Rajasthan want to describe their achievement through the help of Khyat, want to describe their contribution, want to describe their failures, want to describe their social, their cultural, their geographical and many more conditions with the help of Khyat, and that will help for the upcoming generation. मतलब सोचिए, उस समय उन लोगों ने सोचा कि हम जब बात करते हैं कि उस समय के जो राजवंश थे, राजघराने थे या जो शासक थे, जिन्होंने ख्यात का लेखन के बारे में विचार कर ये सोचा कि आने वाली पीढ़ियों को ये बहुत मददगार साबित होगा कि वो ऐतिहासिक पृष्ठभूमि जो है राजस्थान का, प्राचीन राजस्थान को, वह सरलता से मीन्स ख्यात के द्वारा सरलता से, मीन थ्रू द वे ऑफ ख्यात द अपकमिंग जनरेशन विल नो द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ आवर एशियन राजस्थान. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. द थर्ड point in the meaning of Khyat consists Khyat are often known by the name of their authors. Basically, during the time of the ancient Rajasthan, when the Khyat were written, means जब इनका लेखन हुआ था प्राचीन राजस्थान के इतिहास के अंदर, तो ये माना जाता था और ये माना गया है कि इनका जो लेखन जिसके द्वारा किया गया था उसका नाम उस ख्यात के ऊपर दर्शाया जाता था. Just like Dayaldas Ri, for example, Dayaldas Ri Khyat. So, through this picture and through the name of this Khyat, you will definitely understand that the author name is Dayaldas. So, it's clear the concept that कि जो ख्यात है जिनके द्वारा उनका लेखन किया गया है, जिसके द्वारा वो लिखित है, उनका नाम उस ख्यात के रूप में दर्शाया जाता था. So, with these points, you can easily define the concept, you can easily define the meaning of Khyat in your exams or in your competitive exams also. So, let's start with the next slide. Through this slide, I'll define the division of Rajasthani Khyat. Yes, the Khyat of Rajasthan basically divided into 5 different parts. Yes, in 5 different parts. The first one is Dayaldas Ri Khyat, and the time periods indicated here 1781 to 1833 AD. याद रखिए जब हम हिस्ट्री की बात करते हैं तो we will definitely add the time period with AD or either with BC. अगर समय जो है वो शताब्दी से पूर्व है तो हम BC लगाएंगे और शताब्दी के बाद है तो हम उसमें AD लगाएंगे. तो नाउ हियर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द टाइम पीरियड इन AD. यहाँ पे हम AD में बात कर रहे हैं तो देयर इज अ नेसेसिटी, देयर इज ए डिमांड ऑफ योर आंसर, सो यू नीड टू एड AD आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग द एरा. सो Dayaldas Ri Khyat, this is the first one in the field of Rajasthani Khyat. Second one is Dayaldas Ri Khyat, and the time period is indicated here 1828 to 1851 AD. So next Nainsi Ri Khyat, and the time period for the Nainsi Ri Khyat is indicated here 1610 to 1617 AD. And the fourth one is Jodhpur Ri Khyat, means 1803 to 43 AD. Now last but not the least is Mundiyar Ri Khyat. So through this Khyat we can easily understand the royal structure of our Asian Rajasthan. So let's start with the first Khyat, that name Dayaldas Ri Khyat. So let's start. Yes, if I'm saying about the Dayaldas Ri Khyat and the time period according to the historians for the Dayaldas Ri Khyat is 1781 to 1833 AD. Just remember the time period, students. Otherwise, if you are going to write down the answer without adding the time period or without adding the AD, it will go wrong. So just put the time period and according to the time period put the AD and BC also. So if I'm saying Dayaldas Ri Khyat and the time period is 1781 to 1833 AD, and it was written by whom? Yes, let's see on the board. It has written by Marwar Naresh मानसिंह राजकवि बाकीदास. ये किसके द्वारा लिखी गई? मीन जो मारवाड़ के जो नरेश थे मानसिंह, उनके जो राजकवि थे जिनका नाम क्या था? बाकीदास. मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया था जब भी ख्यातों का लेखन हुआ या ख्यातों को लिखित रूप के अंदर कार्य किया गया तो उन ख्यात का जो नाम था उनके द्वारा लिखे गए लेखकों के नाम पे रखा गया. As I earlier told you that the name of the Khyat were based on the name of their authors. मीन जो ख्यात के जो नाम थे उनके लेखकों के, मीन जिनके द्वारा वो लिखी गई है उनके नाम पे आधारित होते थे. For example, Dayaldas Ri Khyat, it means it has written by Marwar Naresh Mansingh Rajkavi Bakidas. So this will be a question in your exam or in your competitive exams also. So just be carefully understand the whole structure of Dayaldas Ri Khyat, and the time period indicated here, once again repeat with me, 1781 to 1833 AD. And in this concept, one more thing we need to discuss, in which he mentioned about which, yes, जो Dayaldas Ri Khyat है उसमें हमें किसके बारे में जानकारी मिलती है? In which he mentioned about the historical background of the राजपुताना स्टेट्स। मीन्स बाकीदास ने जो अपने लेखन के अंदर मीन्स बाकीदास री ख्यात के अंदर बताया है वो किससे संबंधित है? इट गॉट रिलेटेड टू द राजपुताना स्टेट्स। सो दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द बाकीदास री ख्यात and it was written under which era? 1781 to 1833 AD. So let's start with the next one. Yes, the next one is Dayaldas Ri Khyat. So let's see the time period 1828 to 1851 AD, and it was written by whom? Let's see. It has written by the Dayaldas. Yes, as I earlier told you, the name of the Khyat were based on the name of their authors. So the Dayaldas Ri Khyat was written by Dayaldas on the order of whom? On the order of Bikaner नरेश रतन सिंह। मीन्स रतन सिंह के आदेश पर, उनके आदेश अनुसार दयालदास के द्वारा ये ख्यात लिखी गई या इसका लेखन हुआ। एंड इन विच दयालदास हैज रिटन अबाउट द ग्लोरी ऑफ विच स्टेट? द ग्लोरी ऑफ बीकानेर राठौड़। मीन्स जब हम दयालदास री ख्यात की बात करते हैं तो हमें जो बीकानेर राठौड़ राजवंश था, और इधर वी कैन यूज इट द वर्ड क्लेन, मीन्स जो रॉयल क्लेन था बीकानेर राठौड़ का, उनके बारे में हमें पढ़ने को और जानने को मिलता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ द Khyat of Dayaldas Ri Khyat, and the time period is 1828 to 1851 AD. The next one is Nainsi Ri Khyat, and the time period is indicated here 1610 to 1670 AD, and it was written by whom? Yes, I hope so. You already know the answer now. Yes, it has written by Muhnot Nainsi. Who was the writer of Nainsi Ri Khyat? Yes, Muhnot Nainsi. And in which era? 1610 to 1670 AD. So it was written by Muhnot Nainsi, and he was a diwan. Yes, he was a diwan of मारवाड़ नरेश जसवंत सिंह राठौड़। मीन्स जो जसवंत सिंह राठौड़ थे, जो मारवाड़ के नरेश थे, तो मुहन्तो नैंसी उनके दीवान थे उस समय। एंड द टाइम पीरियड ऑफ दैट टाइम indicated here 1658 AD, means 1658 AD के अंदर जो मुहन्तो नैंसी थे वह किस पद पे थे आसित? वह थे दीवान के पद पे आसित थे, और किसके अधीन? मारवाड़ नरेश जसवंत सिंह राठौड़ के अधीन। और उन्हीं के समय के अंदर उन्होंने जिस ख्यात का लेखन किया वो थी नैंसी री ख्यात। एंड द टाइम पीरियड इंडिकेटेड फॉर द नैंसी री ख्यात 1610 to 1617 AD. So let's see in this ख्यात what he described, in which Nancy has written the history of the dynasties of almost all the princely states, means all the princely states of Rajasthan, like Jodhpur, like Dungarpur and Manipur. So the description of all these states are mentioned in the book of Nainsi Ri Khyat through the literary work of Muhnot Nainsi. And Nainsi Ri Khyat basically define the structure of princely states of Rajasthan. Example like Jodhpur, Dungarpur and many more. So this is the concept of Nainsi Ri Khyat. So once again repeat with me, who was the writer of Nainsi Ri Khyat? Yes, Muhnot Nainsi. And under which era? 1610 to 1617 AD. So let's start with the next one. Now it's time to discuss about the Jodhpur Ri Khyat. Yes, so now it's time to discuss about the Jodhpur Ri Khyat. It was written under the reason. Reason means समय काल, मतलब किसके समय काल के अधीन ये लिखा गया था? It was written under the reason of Maharaja Man Singh of Mewar. So students, just carefully understand or learn the name of the emperor of that time. So it was written under the reign of Maharaja Man Singh of Mewar. And for which Khyat we are talking here? Yes, we are talking here about the book or the Khyat of Jodhpur Ri Khyat. And it gives information right from the origin of the Rathors down to the period of our study. Yes, down to the period of our study, especially from Rao Siya to Maharaja Man Singh. So with the help of Jodhpur Ri Khyat, we will understand the structure of Marwar. So it's time to discuss about the next Khyat, Mundiyar Ri Khyat. Last but not the least, this is the important one, or this is the most important part of our Rajasthani literature also. So Mundiyar Ri Khyat. So if I'm saying Mundiyar Ri Khyat, so it helps us to know, or it helps us to learn about the structure, about the social, about the geographical, about the economic, about the political and many more structure of Asian Rajasthan of Sisodia rulers that time. So in which Sisodia rulers of Mewar are described, मीन्स जो सिसोदिया राजवंश था या सिसोदिया जो क्लैंस था, उनके जो शासकों की वंशावली हमें पढ़ने को और जानने को मिलती है, इट ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ द हेल्प ऑफ मुंडियार री ख्यात. इज अ डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ द राठौर ऑफ मीन्स राठौर रूलर्स ऑफ मारवाड़ एंड अ डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ द Kachawa rulers of Ajmer. So just don't get confused, student. Be clear if I'm saying the Rathor rulers of Marwar, and if I'm saying the Kachawa, it means the rulers of Ajmer. And the description of the Hoda rulers. Hoda means the rulers of Kota. Yes, means Marwar rulers indicated towards the Rathod. Marwar indicated towards the Rathod rulers, and the Kachawa rulers indicated towards which place? Ajmer. And the description of Hoda. Hoda indicated toward which place? Yes, the rulers of Kota. So once again repeat with me according to the. So with the help of the Mundiyar Ri Khyat, we can easily understand about the structure of political, social, economic and geographical structure of states of Sisodia rulers of Mewar and the Rathor rulers of Marwar. Yes, if I'm saying Kachawa rulers, it means I'm directly or indirectly pointing towards the Ajmer. And the last but not the least, the Hoda rulers. Hoda rulers of which state? Yes, the Kota. So with the help of the Mundiyar Ri Khyat, we will know about the Sisodia rulers of Mewar, we will know about the Rathor rulers of Marwar and the Kachawa rulers of Ajmer and the Hoda rulers of Kota. So through this Khyat, you can easily learn or understand the historical background of our royal families of Asian Rajasthan and their contribution in the history of Asian Rajasthan. So let's see on the board. Now it's time to discuss about the questions. Yes, in order to know more about the topic of our, we need to solve the question first, as we already discussed in the previous slides of our, but now it's time to answer all these questions. So let's start. First one, Mundiyar Ri Khyat is about. Yes, is about for whom? I'm waiting for the answer, students. Yes, it's about the Rathors of Marwar. Means Mundiyar Ri Khyat described or help us to know about the Rathors of Marwar. Next one, second question. The author of Bikaner ka Rathoran Ri Khyat was. Who was the author of Bikaner Ri Rathoran Ri Khyat? Let's see the answer. Dayaldas, Shamaldas, Suremal Mishran, ya Nainsi. So what will be the answer, students? Yes, the answer is Dayaldas. So the next one, question third. So I already discussed the name of Muhnot Nainsi in the slides of your topic. So I already discussed the name Muhnot Nainsi in the previous slide. So I hope so you will know the answer of this question perfectly. So once again I am going to repeat the question. Muhnot Nainsi, famous literature means उनका जो famous literature work, it means I am talking about the Khyat, is yes, Bikaner Ri Khyat, Dayaldas Ri Khyat, Nainsi Ri Khyat, Jodhpur Ri Khyat. Yes, I am waiting, students. As I told you, most of the literature work, it means most of the Khyat, or in other word we can use the term the Khyat are, or the Khyat were basically, yes, basically mentioned their name on the on the name of their authors or on the name of their writers. So now I hope you will get the clue from my side, students. Yes, the answer is Nainsi Ri Khyat. So Muhnot Nainsi, the author, who wrote which book? Who wrote the book? The book written by Muhnot Nainsi Ri. So now the answer is Nainsi Ri Khyat. So now next one, question number 4th. Dayaldas Ri Khyat. Yes, the Dayaldas Ri Khyat written by whom or in which era? Let's see. Yes, the time periods indicated here for the options: 1829 to 1859 AD, 1826 to 1851 AD, 1828 to 1855 AD, and 1828 to 1851 AD. If you carefully understand the concept of Khyat, so you will definitely know the answer of this question also. So let's see what will be the answer. Yes, the correct answer is 1828 to 1851, and it indicated towards which Khyat? Dayaldas Ri Khyat, and it was written by whom? Yes, it was written by the author Dayaldas. So let's start with the question number 5th. So now Jodhpur Ri Khyat described about. This is the question number 5th, and I hope all the students know the answer of this question also. So let's see the answer. Madwar, Ajmer, Banswara and Dholpur. So which will be the correct answer? Here I am waiting, students. Yes, the correct answer is Marwar. So through this question you can easily and you can learn more about the topic of your ancient Rajasthan history, and with the help of these sources we will know more and more perfectly about the historical background of our ancient Rajasthan. So this is the first concept of sources in which we discussed or described about the concept of literary sources. Or in the next upcoming videos I am going to discuss about the archaeological sources, and that help us to know about the glory of our ancient Rajasthan. So now student, it's time to end this topic here, but before that I just want to mention one thing. Please subscribe the channel of our in order to get new notification, and through this you will know more about the coursework of your, and also subscribe the bell icon in order to get new notification about the topics or about the new videos of Parishkar YouTube channel. And it's time to say bye, but it's time to say one more thing. I'll meet you again on the next video with the next video of mine. Till then, take care students. Thanks.
सब्सक्राइब करें परिष्कार कॉलेज यूट्यूब चैनल को और साथ ही बेल आइकन पर क्लिक जरूर करें, जिससे हमारे सभी वीडियोस नोटिफिकेशन सबसे पहले आप तक पहुंचे।